Wanderers, welcome to the Wondering Dutchmen podcast. Thanks for joining us for a Wandering Wednesday show brought to you by our friends at Southern Indiana Hardwoods and those fine Green Mountain pellet grills.
Guess who's back? Back again. It's our friends over at Southern Indiana Hardwoods and their Green Mountain Grills. Now, I'm going to do a little digital editing magic and show you this monster sale the folks got going on right now at Southern Indiana Hardwoods. You can get a Peak Prime or a Daniel Boone Choice for a very good price, almost too good of a price. I'm almost worried old Nick is giving away the farm here. Call Nick at Southern Indiana Hardwoods today and check out all the models he's got ready for you. Grilling and smoking season is still in full force and effect. Look like a pro by Labor Day using one of these awesome Green Mountain grills with their even better pellets. Also, if you wanted an inside shot at creating some great barbecue for a certain backyard barbecue competition, well, maybe you ought to try your luck with a Green Mountain grill and win it all.
The Wondering Dutchmen podcast, where none of us are Dutch, but we all live in Holland, Indiana. Join us where we talk about what we all wonder about. This is the Wandering Dutchman podcast coming to you from Smoker's Lounge.
The Wandering Dutchman. Yeah, yeah. The Wandering Dutchman. Yeah, yeah.
Coming to you from the hilltop that is Smoker's Lounge. It's Holland, Indiana's only podcast. Gotta be damn near DuBois County's top podcast, and for sure a Southern Indiana favorite. It is the Wandering Dutchman podcast with my friends, my buddies, my BFFs. Sitting across from me, sporting the Indiana Hoosiers with the mustache and the turtle shell rimmed colored glasses. The mustache with the most, it's our buddy, Zachary David Masner.
Hey, guys.
Sitting there in the middle, looking high speed, low drag since he lost a little bit of the hair.
God dang.
The rose-colored glasses and the turquoise turtle. You mess around, you might catch them turquoise rings in your snout. It's our buddy, by way of Brazil, from there, Richmond, some towns in between there, but now a good old resident of Holland, Indiana. It's our buddy, David Allen Smoker. And I'm Esquire here at the table. And as we jump into the ice cold opener, boys, we got a Wondering Wednesday coming to the folks and the fans on what will be already almost damn near the end of August.
Pretty wild.
I don't know where time has gone.
I won't hurt my feelings to see it go.
Time keeps on slipping
Slipping
Into the future.
into the future.
Who sang that, Casey?
We've done this before. It was Seal's big ass, I think.
No, it was
the Eagles.
Yeah. I think we said it was
No,
Seal.
Seal sing it in the
movie.
Space Jam.
Space Jam.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a hell of a conundrum there. Big fella, what do you got
Wasn't
going
the
on?
Eagle.
Well, yeah, it was, wasn't it?
No.
The Eagles?
No.
Oh, I'm going to catch some flack off of
It's
that.
Steve Miller Band, I thought.
Is that what it is? Okay. Good.
It was Fly Like an Eagle.
Fly like an eagle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but it's Steve Miller Band, I believe.
Is the original.
Yeah,
And then
but the
Seal.
Eagles never.
So Steve Miller Bland. Yeah, I stand corrected. Damn it. I'll have to edit all that out so I don't look like a loser. Ice cold opener. Well, it's Monday in real time. We are trying to knock some stuff out early this week, trying to be proactive. I like it. Giving old brother Dave some time to get some stuff done. And Casey's going out of town again, on another golf tournament. Our weekend of fun and lavish living. I mean, it's great. Congratulations.
Thanks, buddy. I'm excited.
But other than that, I mean, we had a great weekend. Come off a call Friday. Did some shop sitting Friday night. Then we.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Look good.
Yeah. You should have stopped by. Jenna said she told you to come down.
No, I just said hi to Jenna. She didn't say, hey, come on down.
Well, then she's a bold-faced
Yeah,
liar
'cause
then.
she told us. She told you guys to come
She
down.
said, yeah, come on.
No, I didn't get that as we rolled by. I said, hey. She said, hi. And then
What
I
a-
turned up the hill.
What a liar. You can't wait to rub that in her face.
Well, I mean,
But no, just the humidity pushed out the weekend, and it was nice.
nice
Oh, yeah.
weekend.
Nice and
Wonderful
cool.
weather. Saturday went down, painted the soccer fields, got them all ready. We got our own paint machine back, so that's great.
Yeah.
Shout out to.
I don't think parking was a big situation. I think
I don't
everybody
think
did a
very
pretty
many
good job.
people were there this week. I don't know why. Justine felt. I mean, I didn't spend much time down there because of a golf scramble and stuff like that. But she seemed to think that it was a little light on the spectators this week. Which I don't know. I didn't notice. I was just there to coach and then got some tacos and hit the road running. But
I don't, now that you say that, I mean,
we figured it'd be a zoo as nice as the weather was. It wasn't hot and everything. Week 2, you know what I mean?
I think you might have had a lot of people stroll down or
Yeah.
golf cart down or side by side down because the city of Huntingburg.
We did some media releases trying to warn folks that it was going to be a mess.
Lots of messages come, text messages and emails and
Yeah.
Facebook
But-
posts. I
but-
think you guys handled it well.
But we just got to try to
You
get
had
everybody.
a picture, a pictorial.
Yeah, big buddy of the show, buddy of mine, Eric Vollmer. He spun that up, a little aerial map with
Yeah.
a parking.
Hell
diagram.
yeah.
So yeah. Anyway, but finished up with that. Played in the Redneck Golf Scramble out at H Track. Played 9 holes. Could not get a putt to fall to save our ass. We should have been 4 under. We had 4 rim jobs, man. 4
That's
of
tough.
them rim out, and it was I had one. Nobby had a couple. Just wasn't our day. But
Well, you'll get that on those.
yeah. But anyway, had fun. Looking forward to the week, and glad to come out a day or two early and hang out with you two fellers.
Smoke Dragon.
Well, pretty good weekend. Real busy weekend. Real busy. Lots going on. Got lots done. Did some mowing. Did some choring. Hung a TV on the back deck. Got that all squared away,
Oh,
taken
yeah.
care of. Then the missus, she did some choring and some errand running. Blew a tire coming up the interstate.
Oh
So
God.
she had a big Facebook post about these 2 fellers that helped her get her spare on,
Mhm.
which was good because I was like, good grief, I'm going to have to zip down there. And she's got the groceries and it's 45 minutes to get there. But couldn't get the tire fixed. By the time she got home, it was Saturday afternoon. Hole in the sidewall wasn't like a just plug it and chug it type of situation.
Right.
So luckily the father-in-law took the tire Sunday.
Shout out
from
Gary
us.
Giesler.
Yeah, and he went and took it this morning because I had a doctor's appointment. I had to leave work early today. So I drove the old Harley to work. Great morning for it.
Mm-hmm.
But I
That
tell
got
you what.
killed.
Well, we don't need to talk about that.
Oh,
Yeah, we do. We do. We do need to talk.
Oh,
about it.
okay.
I was going to talk about it.
Yeah, you most certainly are.
Well, I don't want it to be brought up like bad juju kind of
Oh,
situation.
no.
No,
This is
no.
a PSA.
Okay, PSA.
Yeah, so no, I'll
Not
tell
a
you.
prostate antigen specific test.
No prostate. Now, this guy was an asshole, but
Yep.
I don't know.
Which
what
is
it-
close to a prostate.
Yeah, right in the
Just south.
Gentral
The asshole's
vicinity.
just south of the prostate.
Mhm. This guy was actually just south of. Does that make me the prostate? God damn.
No, I don't know.
But at any rate, now this feller, I'll give him the credit. He wasn't on his phone. He looked at me, I'm pretty sure, but I don't know if he was in La La Land, maybe still a little drunk from Sunday shenanigans or what.
Sunday fun days will get you.
But he looked right at me, light turned, and I seen him coming, so I kind of went slow through the intersection, thinking, well, surely he's going to start stopping.
So he run a whole ass stop light.
Yeah. It was red as your shirt, and he just come through it. And when I seen that he wasn't stopping, I was able to crack it and like look back and like he missed me, but like by a saddlebag, And I was like, whew. So I revved it real hard, like, hey, dickhead, and that snapped him out of it. And then he swerved, like after he was already past me, and almost
So
hit an
you-
oncoming car.
So you
Oh,
were
geez.
coming off. You were going.
I was heading east on Division Road.
Yeah, so
I was
you were up
ahead
there-
of the stoplight.
Yeah.
So I was waiting. So I was watching it turn yellow, shifted into gear. Nobody coming this way. This guy's up quite a bit, like up past where the nativity scene normally is.
right.
So I kind of eke out because I'm like, okay, well, he's up there, but waiting for him to slow down, never did. So you get to the halfway point, like, well, am I stopping or going?
Is it dark?
No. It was
Yeah.
It was probably right at 5 till 7. So I
Okay.
mean, it was not full sun, but it was nice out.
Right.
But yeah, so he must have just been in a trance or something. Like I say, I cracked the pipes at him, and He said a long string of expletives and
Well, I don't blame you, man. You could have been killed.
a nice guy though followed me like out of his way till he got beside me.
Not the guy.
No,
that,
the guy
damn near
that
killed
was
you.
behind me at the light.
Mhm.
And he started, "Hey man, you all right?" I'm like, "Yeah, he didn't get me." He's like, "Shit, I don't know how he didn't."
He
I was
said
like-
that guy said that.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so that was a shit show.
My goodness, Dave.
Then I had to take the bike to Evansville, Newburgh. And I was like, I don't want to ride down there. That's a bad omen for today. You get all these jackasses when the lanes are closed and want to speed beside.
Yeah.
And sure enough, on 69, I had a semi behind me, and I was like, man, it looks like wide open highway. And these two trucks come barreling down. I was nervous about it the whole time, so I had seen them coming. The trucker saw me, so I kind of got over back towards him a little bit and got over a little, and they came cutting in right in time and had to chalk the brakes up. And then they seen me, and I'm like, these sons of bitches, man. Like,
Yeah.
God dang.
I hated riding. I mean, we did it a lot because it was just a one-stop shop. We'd always ride down to Hooters and ride down to Bud's Harley and stuff like that. But I wasn't a big fan of riding on the interstate.
It's not enjoyable. I mean, it's fine if you got somewhere to be,
Right.
but like, it's not an enjoyable ride.
When we rode our Harleys from here to the
West
ocean, Virginia
yeah.
Beach, and we just hammered down on 64 to get there.
Yeah.
And we stayed the night at a hotel in West Virginia one night. Then the second night we stayed, a buddy of mine, his late aunt had lived over there, and we stayed the night at her house. But then the whole way back was like we had tried to take a vow we weren't going to do it until we had to. Like take the interstate. We just did 2 lanes.
Well, I think there's a slight difference on Interstate 64 and then what is now I-69 southbound there.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think people like going into Evansville, you get the people from Illinois that don't know how to drive. You know, you got them Indiana folk that are commute. You know, it's a big commuter stretch
Oh, yeah.
where people are in the zone.
Still way better than I-70 and 465. Right?
Oh, that I would probably agree. There's
that
no
was
doubt
why,
about that.
like today, I was like, this is going to be a shit show, but 465 with Jenna on there on the Harley at 2:30 that afternoon on a Friday. Like, I was like white knuckled, like, God dang.
yeah.
This is going to go south.
Oh, when you went to Kid Rock.
Mm-hmm. God, that was a great show. Anyway, that's my week so far till today.
What you got, Casey?
Oh, it was a good weekend. We have Friday. We ran down to Evansville, do a little grocery shopping. We hadn't been in about 7 weeks.
Oh, boy.
So we had really stretched the house thin, so we had to restock. But kids love going down. We do the scan and shop. They throw shit in the cart. We keep it moving. Had a nice little Chick-fil-A on the cruise home. Kids were tired. Ryan's kind of getting out of that stage where he was a little bit of, them boys in that phase can be little punks.
Mm-hmm.
He's starting to kind of become dad's helper, which is a little bit of an adjustment for me because fast forward to Sunday, and I was committed to try to clean out the garage a little bit and kind of get some things organized. And some of it is get it cleaned up because the porch party is like a month away.
Oh, yeah.
We're getting close to it.
Yeah.
But, just some of it is the honey-do list, trying to keep the missus happy because I'm getting ready to be gone Thursday, Friday, Saturday, home on Sunday. But he just, hey, Dad, I'll run that shop vac for you. And he ran the hell out of that shop. I don't know if he sucked anything up, but that shop vac ran forever. Finally, I was like, hey, buddy, maybe it's time for you to go play. Like, you've been a great helper. But it's good. It's been good, so he's doing well. But, it was nice. And then Saturday evening, we kind of did the kids that wanted to do pizza and a movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I pulled up the app on Casey's because Janelle's like, hey, let's go back to Casey's and get pizza. We hadn't in a while. We'd kind of left. They had some turnover and quality of things, and it's still a gamble. Kind of like eating gas station sushi. It's a gamble what you're going to get.
Hands down.
And I checked, and Huntingburg was a 2-hour wait time to order a pizza.
Yeah.
On Saturday at like 6:30. So good old Pizza Hut came through, just needed some cheap pies. And
If you haven't,
You got to try the gas
have you not
station.
tried down here yet, Hunts Brothers?
I forgot all about it.
It's become a staple, my man, and it is
cheap.
It is damn good.
I forgot it was all.
You
I
get
forgot
a-
it was there.
Meat Lover's original crust, which is like the thicker crust, like Pizza Hut's got, all meat pizza for $11.
Whether it's one topping or every topping they have, it's $11.99 for the first pizza and $10.99 for each additional pizza.
Well,
on
but
the
like,
order.
I mean, for Pizza Hut though, they've been running that special
Yeah.
for $10 large.
Yeah.
Mhm.
For-
And
I mean,
their
you're
large is
saving-
larger.
It's on the app. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? As long as you do it on the app, I mean, hell, then,
You're saving time driving and all that stuff. Yeah, we'll have to think about it next time. So we watched in a surprise movie choice. It was Paw Patrol and then Paw Patrol Mighty Pups. So that's what the pizza in the movie was. Really,
Put Minions 4 on the wall out here for all the chilling on Saturday.
yeah. So it was good, but Zoe had been asking about it. So yeah,
Heck yeah, that's
for
good
her.
old time.
yeah. Well, then we had soccer on Sunday. Highlighter Yellow come out and play really well. Kind of scored early. Then we had to play a lot of defense late. Just we've been playing pretty well.
Is
We'll get
that
after
your team? You're the highlighter yellow?
Yeah. Yep. And then we
Nice.
did popsicles after the game.
Oh, yeah.
The
The big ones or little ones?
well, just the flavor ice little ones.
Yeah, that'll
But yeah, that's what we did. So
the warden had to go make a special trip to get the big ones because too many people bitched about not having the big ones.
oh
So
really?
she bought 20,000 little ones, and now nobody wants them.
She screwed up big time.
We're not going to tell her
It's
that.
all right, though.
Hey, and that was the ice cold opener. Big thank you to our buddy Mark Seibert. It's not Siebert, it's Seibert.
That's right.
And it's the ice with attitude, because if it's not Celebration Ice, well then F you.
That's right.
Which I don't know if he's put that on a shirt yet. Could be some bold marketing there.
Yeah.
But big
Fortune
thank you.
favors the bold.
Oh yeah. Big thank you to Celebration Ice.
Celebration Ice, the ice with attitude. If you're going to be spending your Friday nights tailgating high school football, you need to make sure you keep things nice and cold. Enter Celebration Ice. You don't want to show up to the tailgate with subpar ice from some other garbage ice company that claims to be the best. We only use Celebration Ice here in the lounge for a reason. Crystal clear and super cold. The only way we'll have it. Make sure your next bag of ice says Celebration on it.
All right, big fella. It's a Wandering Wednesday.
Yeah.
What have you been wondering about?
I got one today for you guys. It's
Okay.
gonna blow your mind. Which is
Buckle.
not really.
Buckle up.
Not really blow your mind. And this is actually kind of some free pub, just in case anybody's looking to buy some not ocean bought property in Arizona.
Oceanfront property.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what I meant.
Mhm.
So Josh sent me a thing online today of a MLS listing. It was I can't remember if it was realtor.com or homes or whatever.
Was it the one out in Montana?
Bozeman, Montana,
Yes.
to be exact.
For $72 million?
78.
Yeah.
$78,912,000 with an estimation of $425,000, $377 a month. I clicked on that son of a buck, and I'm going to tell you what, boys, if we could afford it, I would,
Most of those, when you're doing that, you're buying a working ranch. There's income off of it.
I would do that
How
tomorrow.
many acres was with it?
So this in particular here, it is where was it at here? This is 1,941 acres.
Well, that's
Not very
small
much.
for out there,
Huh?
though.
That's not very much.
So it's 1,940 acres is what it's showing.
1,940?
Mhm.
Oh,
That's not much
worth it.
for out there.
1,940. But that
That's Clay County. Or maybe Du Bois County's close to that.
that borders like 900,000 acres of U.S. forest lands. Property.
See, that's why I don't want anything to do with that.
Okay.
Because
You
you
can
get
get
whack
pinned down.
jobs on your property all
No,
the time.
you get pinned down. The government wants to come get you. They just start pinning you in.
Well, that and David is got a point there. They were talking about they've talked about that on Meat Eater podcast quite a bit about the eminent domain and like line jumping and all that kind of stuff. But anyway, yeah, this one says located just minutes from the heart of Bozeman, Montana. Running Elk Ranch is the most notable Gallatin Valley. Maybe it's property that came on the market of recent history. its unique local location, size of contiguous acreage, and quality of its substantial infrastructure rival virtually any property in its class. 72,000, encompassing 1,940 acres in one block with a 2.5 mile eastern border to over 72,000 acres of contiguous Gallatin National Forest land and west and south borders of nearly 900 acres of state land give this ranch a true back to the wall sense of privacy. Which I don't know what that, I mean, you say they could pin you in, but I think there's got road front and all this stuff. But anyway, I clicked on some of these photos, and there's like a horse facility, main house caretaker shop, gated main entrance, access gates, alpine cabins, 1,000-yard shooting range. Like, there's all kinds of shit on this thing. But the thing that gets me the most is it's so like for the housing, like that's on there. They say I can't remember. It's got like 3,553 square foot of like living space. I would assume that that's probably not all in one of them.
3,000 feet?
Yeah,
that's not that much.
I know. That's what I'm saying. So there doesn't appear to be like one big ass house. Like it just seems to be like.
So are we for sure somebody didn't like accidentally hit an extra number on this listing?
Absolutely not. It's Bozeman, Montana.
It just doesn't sound like it's worth $78 million.
Well, it is because the price per square foot is $22,210.
Because it's got one antsy little house. That's what I'm saying. It's
if you look at the housing market in Bozeman, Montana, guys, I mean, it is absolutely insane. Like that's what we're dealing with. I mean, it's
that's what they want you to see there. But Bozeman, Montana, the town,
is ritzy as shit now, according to the internet and everything like that. Like it's like the housing market in Bozeman, Montana, I think is pretty wild.
Well, and it's well, I guess in summation, what was your wonder?
If we could afford it, we'll do that.
Yeah, we can't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
When Janelle and I were out there for our honeymoon, so that's been 9+ years, we stayed at the north gate entrance of Yellowstone. So that's what is that town? It's right there. But anyways, there was a little breakfast spot, and we went in. We had breakfast one day before going into the park. And I asked the guys, like, hey, are you local? And he goes, yeah, as much as you can be. And I said, oh, okay. Like, why is that? And he said, well, the family lives down the road here, et cetera. Not too far, but, it's a good drive. I was like, oh, yeah. He's like, well, it's kind of embarrassing to be, I forget what, I think it was a she said, 20-something years old and still living at home.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, well, I was like, yeah, it's normal. Like, hell, I was living at home, practicing, opening my practice. The situation was a little bit different.
Yeah.
But she's like, you just can't afford to live anywhere out here. She said she goes, you graduate with a group of people from high school, and she said they're just gone.
Yeah.
They go elsewhere because they live this camper nomad lifestyle where they bounce around from place to place, but you can't afford to live.
RocketHomes.com. I don't know if that's a reputable site or not. Like I think I've heard of Rocket Homes before, but according to this, it says the reason that the housing market in Bozeman, Montana, is so high is obviously from out of state money. Like people go there.
Well, that's the gripe of
vacation houses. On average, they say the average home that is sold in Bozeman is $762,000. One bedrooms, this is July of 2024. A one bedroom house is $420K, two is $530, 3-bedroom house $678, and a 4-bedroom home you're looking at $993 million.
The problem is
$993,000.
The problem is that's like big fancy houses, but the whenever you have that, there's also a part of town that's going to be like the trailer park over there that's just the slums because all the local people can't afford to live anywhere.
Yeah.
And everything else runs down. So those don't ever hit the market because it was grandma's house, and then everybody lived in grandma's house, and grandma died, and then it was mom's house, and now she's keeling over. Now I live there.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
But
and some of that
I don't think
happens.
Bozeman's a fancy place. I think it's got a fancy part, but they're just killing the local heritage of it.
Well, but some of that comes from the growth of, and we've taken advantage of it. But like the Verbos and the Airbnbs and all these other things, because if you've got a little bit of cash, you got a little bit of capital. So let's say hurricane that went through like Mexico Beach a few years ago, decimated it.
Mm-hmm.
You talk to anybody, they'll tell you the best time to buy is the day after that's over.
Yeah.
Because people are willing to sell. And so what happens is I get together with my couple mil, you get your couple mil, you get your couple mil,
Right.
and then we build a real estate company. And then next thing you know, we've bought 3 beachfront properties that we've rebuilt. Well, the price just gets jacked up. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing. These companies, these businesses have diversified to where they said, we don't really want to own it to try to sell it one time when we can rent it out for let's say $5,000 a week,
Right.
$4,500 a week. And even if you rent that out,
There's a prime property in Bozeman, Montana.
yeah. And baby's got it all. But you know what I mean? If you're able to rent something out $5,000 a week for, 30, 40 weeks a year,
Yep.
$20,000 a month.
why wouldn't you? You know what I mean? Like, and that's where these companies make money, because then that's just a steady stream, because it's people flock down there to do it.
I mean, you people go there for the views. They go there for that big sky country and all that stuff. But I don't know. Like I guess I don't think I've ever seen. I don't go online and search out these monstrous ranches and all this shit, ever. But that was wild. $78 million for that.
Well, what'll happen is some asshole from Silicon Valley will buy it, never go to it, and then someday
build
he'll
a casino.
Someday he'll turn around to sell it for $90 million, and then some other asshole from Silicon Valley will buy it, and then he'll say, "Oh, I made $12 million on it. It's a good investment." But there's enough small towns in and around that area where you could still,
Right.
to Dave's point, you could find something if you wanted to have something out there. But
That's the headquarters of First Light Camouflage, and it's also Meat Eaters. They've got a studio there with Stephen Rennell and those guys. They got Shields, or not Shields. Oh, son of a buck! I can't think of it. There's a hiking boot company that's based out of Bozeman.
Rocky?
No, no. I thought the Rocky Mountains would be a lot more rocky than these. Anyway, I just wanted to talk about that a little bit. That was pretty flabbergasting.
Where would we put our studio headquarters? I mean, we love Smokers Lounge, but if we got to the level of, like, let's say the Meat Eater podcast, where would our recording studio headquarters be?
We'd have more than one, I would say.
Do they have more than one?
Yeah. Yeah, they record everywhere.
We don't need a lot of space. We could put up little yard barns,
Yard sheds.
scatter them all over,
Yeah.
then save the extra money to pay the neighbor to fly us around or something.
Yep. That would be bad bone right there. Bad to the bone.
Yeah. Probably need a helicopter pilot, though, not an airplane pilot.
Yeah.
That way we don't have to have a runway close. We can just park it in the yard.
Park
Be
in
a
the
big
front yard.
goddamn helicopter.
Why? They make them pretty big.
Why, he says.
I thought
Well,
about
I'm
it.
too
after I
fat
said
to fly in that live flight, so I mean that goes to tell you. What do they call it? A Chinook. That's what we're gonna need. What you got, big guy?
Which big guy?
Casey, big fella,
Here's
sweetheart.
what is one thing from your childhood that you look back on and think that's strange? So, like, for me as a child, didn't spend the night over at a ton of people's houses. Like, just wasn't a thing. Like, we just didn't do it that often. And I'm not saying that's strange, but now something as a parent, like, where you look back and you're like, it kind of just makes you, like, for me, I think it was you talking about, the girl staying over somewhere, doing, like, your kids do that a lot, and you have a lot of like Rugrats come over and stay at your house.
Right.
I don't remember as a child and growing up doing it that much. And I don't think I had friends, like it wasn't, hey, nobody liked you, but and maybe I'm wrong on that. Could be some comments, but hey, comments drive exposure, and that's what we're all about. But you know what I mean? You know what I'm grasping at here?
Yeah.
I just was thinking about that, and I was like, I wonder.
Man, I don't know. Things that I look back on now and think that they're strange.
Or just like different, or like kind of one of those things, peculiar.
Kids that, like, the age of kids that have cell phones now is pretty wild to me. Like, I think that's pretty strange. Like, why would a 5 or 6, 7-year-old kid need a cell phone? You know what I mean? Like,
You know some that do?
oh yeah, hell yeah, yes sir, yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's what I mean. Like, why? That I feel like that's strange. I feel like a lot of kids now, because of the exposure to the internet and everything, like, I think they grow up faster, or they don't find interest in things that we found interest in. Like like that whole. When we were working at that subdivision there in town and working on that big walking trail, and I set all the kids fishing and shit like that, you know what I mean, during the day, summertime, out bass fishing and stuff. I thought that was awesome. You know what I mean? Like, it's like a breath of fresh air. You don't see that shit anymore. You know what I mean? And I don't know. My kids just could take it or leave it. They're still, screen heads. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Like, that's strange to me. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't have imagined when I was a kid, like, literally sitting in the house and watching a phone or a tablet or something for hours and hours. I was always just, because I didn't have it, you know what I mean? I was just riding my bike and fishing and hanging out with buddies.
You being a kid.
Yeah, like doing shit like that, I guess. I guess things that kids do now are strange to me, I guess is what I say.
I guess I didn't think it was strange then, but we never went on vacations.
Yeah.
Growing up.
Yeah.
We showed horses, and that was about that.
Right.
So, like, I remember we went to my uncle's, who lives in North Carolina, in a town called Wilmington, like Wrightsville Beach is right there.
Yeah.
We went there once, maybe twice. And I think we went to West Virginia once. To some there's like a Busch Gardens there. It's like some historic neck of the woods. And I think that's the only time we ever really went anywhere that I can think of.
That's wild.
But then I met Jenna, and she's like, family vacations. I'm like, what in the shit are you talking about?
We went everywhere, man. My parents, they were big vacation people.
We Yellowstone, Disney World
As
twice.
a kid?
Yeah.
You been to Yellowstone as a kid, too?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I've been to Yellowstone 2 times.
Cool.
Can't wait for a third, but
No shit.
getting out there is going to be, because that's a long drive. I'll have to hook up the methamphetamine and be able to ride out there 33 hours. Beautiful drive, though. Yellowstone, Disney World twice. We kind of took a long weekend up to Northern Ohio to Cedar Point to ride the roller coasters. Dipped into Canada. Kind of that long week. I think that would be about,
That's your foot, huh?
Yep.
and we went to
That too?
Yep.
Okay, good.
Carolina when I was younger. But yeah,
We did Gatlinburg a lot. We went to Gatlinburg a shit ton. We went to
we went to Cherokee. Yeah,
North
once.
Carolina. So we went to Orlando, to Kissimmee, Disney World a couple times, MGM Studios, did that whole vacation shit, there. I don't think we ever went, like, for some, one place that I've never been that's strange. There's another one. One place that I've never been in my entire life, but I know a gajillion people that have been. Two places. I've never been to Orange Beach, or like that Floribama Dolphin Island.
yeah.
Like, I've never been there before. And I've never been to Myrtle Beach. Like, I know a shit ton of people that go to Myrtle Beach, and I've never been there.
Yeah. I don't know, like the beach vacation lifestyle.
Mhm.
That's new to me.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't know
Same
what
with
that
me.
was.
Yeah, same with
because
me.
we were always
Mountain people.
doing something.
Yeah.
Well, you would go, you would do something. You had something to do.
See, and that's like my wife's family, exact opposite. Like, they go to vacation to vacation. Like they go there
Yeah.
to relax and not do a whole bunch of like touristy shit. And like when I was a kid, like we did all that stuff. Like we did
because there's stuff to see.
yeah, like we went to we did all that stuff, you know.
So Orange Beach area, and what was the other place? Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, I've never been there.
I'm not an Atlantic Ocean guy.
Yeah, it's dirty,
I'm not a big fan.
cold. Yeah, we've just been
Big golf people. Dolphin Island is great.
Yeah,
Been to Dolphin. Did a triathlon in Dolphin with the boys.
yeah,
We had a good trip.
yeah.
But
Wild deal.
and I think the other thing that I think strange is how much, like as a kid, I guess you don't realize it, but like the parent network of things, like even before you could just hop on and text, but like parents are always a couple steps ahead of what's going on.
Oh yeah.
And you don't think about it as a kid.
Yeah.
And now you get to the adult side and you're like, oh,
Well, we
no big
have
secret.
to.
They just
Luckily, we got a
communicate.
couple of group threads with, which I don't think my parents did that stuff. I can remember riding to Bible school with a couple buddies that lived close. But then, like for football and baseball and stuff like that, I was one of the only ones from Holland that played, like in my class. You know what I mean? But like Ian was down the street. He played baseball. We rode together for a while for that. But then, like football wise, I was pretty much the only one from Holland that played. And everybody else was from St. Henry, or they didn't play, or they didn't live in town. You know what I mean? So my parents just run me back and forth 850 times a week. But luckily, we got that little bit of a network going on now.
Yeah, the carpool situation.
Yeah.
We're not quite into it yet,
No, not yet.
but just Zoe getting into stuff. But
yeah.
I don't know. That was
Do you like going on family vacations now? Do you think that that's something that you need to make a priority, like different than what you were when you were younger?
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad they happen. I don't know that a person needs to go on one every year. I think every couple of years. But I like to just stay home.
Yeah.
you're a big homebody.
Yeah, I like to, well, heck, we got a pretty good neighborhood. There's always something to get into.
Right. No, I'll agree there for sure.
I like going, but I don't like a week. Well, the swamp, that's the only vacation I've ever been on for that long that I didn't want to leave halfway through.
So you really liked that though, right?
Yeah, that was a good
Was that
time.
because of the company or is that because of the place?
Both, I think, because like I liked Fort
Morgan?
it's down the road from that place in Alabama that everybody always goes to.
Yeah, Fort Morgan.
Yeah, it's down from
Fort Walton Beach is right next to Destin.
yeah, so
Yeah.
I've been to that one too, but Fort Morgan's a little island in
It's just
Alabama.
off there, off of Orange Beach.
Yeah.
It's further east there where Dolphin Island's west.
So, but that's a good time, and it's like that one down in Florida, just because there's not a lot of touristy shit. Like
Right.
there's like a couple restaurant bar type things. There's a little fishing charter place there, but I mean, other than that, it's just
I think that's why I like that shithole so much because as a kid, when we went, like my parents, like you talked about vacationing with like your parents and my parents probably were very similar.
Yeah,
Like when we went on vacation, we went and did shit every day.
yeah. You went
We-
and played
we-
putt-putt. you
Like
did
my mom
golf.
said, my mom was old school. Like she cooked, cleaned, did everything, like we're pretty much silver spoon spoiled little brats, basically, me and
Yeah.
my brother, you know what I mean? Like I don't think I washed dishes until I was like in
Well,
high
I'd still say that silver spoon is still
Yeah.
there a little bit.
Yeah,
there.
it is. I agree. But like she's like, I'll be damned if I'm gonna go on vacation and have to cook.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like when we go down there, like I enjoyed cooking though. You know what I mean? Like I really like that. I like doing it for myself. I like seeing the reactions of people that are enjoying my food and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I really like that, which is right up. I mean, that's what you do when you go down there. I mean,
Yeah.
unless you want to spend $5 million in a week, you know what I
Well,
mean? Going
and
out to
we've-
eat every day.
We're
but-
still in that spot where the kids' meal is pretty cheap,
yes.
where we can
Yes.
get by.
Yes.
And we do. I mean, we rack up credit card points
Oh yeah.
all year for
For
this.
sure.
Basically,
For
just
sure.
that's what we got, a travel card.
Yeah.
I mean, we have no brand, which this would be a good topic sometime, but we have no like brand specific credit card outside of the Southwest one, which we don't even use that much, but we have a Discover It Miles card that we use. and that's pretty much predominantly gets used, and then we just build up the points and do that. But yeah, I don't know. It's I tell you what, I almost enjoy the 2 or 3 day getaway like locally.
Yeah.
Like go, and this is, and I'm not saying it because I work for them, but like when we've taken a little weekend trip to the resort past couple years, and just her and I, and it's weird being there because these are coworkers, and then you end up having 12 days driving to, 12 days at work, which gets to be a long stretch that second week. But like, it's kind of nice just like local. Like if, you sneak away to some of these places where, like you got a weekend coming up September there, Bourbon Beyond, like it's going to be a good little getaway, but you're not getting out of the side of, I don't know if you're going to have a lot of rest there, Dave. I'm worried about you for that trip, but you don't have to go far to get away. You go up to Brown County.
There
There
are so many little mom and pop shops you could go to, like the Story Inn we went to up in little, up on the outside of little Nashville. You know what I mean? Where you go up there to that little bed and breakfast, or you a lot of
get up there and explore that.
Yeah, a lot of cool shit.
I tell you what, if I had the dinero, we go back and forth on the camping thing. A lot of people will say, camping's fun, but you got to have people to go with. Well, sometimes that creates other drama and problems.
You're exactly right.
I would almost rather, if you could find me a place that you could put in the woods somewhere, has a lake on it that you could fish, the kids could run around. I'd be happy with a cabin somewhere local, just to get away to. Doesn't need to be anything fancy.
That would be so cool. That's probably like on my dad's top. Like he always talks about getting a bass boat and doing all that stuff. But if my old man could find 40 acres and me and my brother could help him contribute to that, and then just put you would only need like a 20 by 20, just something like a pole building on a slab that's insulated with a wood stove in it. That would be.
Well, and that's what I told.
That would be so cool.
I told her I'd love to build an A-frame cabin.
Yeah.
That you got the nice fireplace in.
Yeah.
That you could slip up there when you're like, oh, hey, looks like we might get some snow, or it's going to be nice and cold. Like, let's go up and build the fire, and you just cook and enjoy and just get away a little bit.
Hell yeah.
Makes me get fired up, boys.
Oh, gets you right in the crawls.
Calling all grill masters and barbecue aficionados. It's the second annual Wandering Dutchmen Backyard Barbecue Contest on September 14th at the Holland Fest in Holland, Indiana. Gather your team, your secret rubs, marinades, and smoking techniques for a chance to win amazing prizes and bragging rights as the ultimate barbecue champion. Whether you're a seasoned pit master or a backyard novice, all skill levels are welcome. Check-in is Friday, September 13th at 9. Judging and awards will be on Saturday afternoon. Now, you can go to our website, wanderingdutchman.com, and find a link to get all the finer details and the rules, and then enter your team. Now, don't forget to come out early on Friday night. At 8 o'clock, our favorite band, Overboard, takes over the stage, and the Dutchmen are going to be hanging out, mingling with the folks in the crowd. We'll be in the beer garden. We'll be in the family picnic area that's attached to the beer garden. It's going to be a good time for everybody. Now, remember, there's only 15 teams, so don't wait. We hope to see you there.
What you got, Dave?
Outside of a haircut.
Did get a haircut. You know what I've been considering here? I enjoy the hunting. It's getting that time of year where I'm kind of getting like, checking all the gun ads everywhere.
Orange Hat Brigade.
Getting back, and it's just that time of year. And I was talking with some of the neighbors here not too long ago, and I wasn't complaining really, but I haven't been much on deer hunting the last couple of years because Wyatt's into it so much now.
Yeah.
And he gets one every year.
Mm-hmm.
But butchering hogs and half beef, like I don't have room to go just killing 5 deer a year or 3 or even 2 really.
Right.
And being able to put it away. And I was kind of complaining about that. I was like, yeah, I'm not as diehard as some folks, but I enjoy going.
Yeah.
And the neighbor said, he's like, well, how do you feel about rabbit hunting? I was like, I've never done any rabbit hunting or bird hunting. I said, I think I'd like to do that sometime. He's like, oh, yeah. He's like, it's more of a social thing. Just go around, everybody kind of spreads apart, and then you just go out there, have a beer, and then you just, go shoot a rabbit or go quail hunting or whatever. I'm like, man, I think I need to get into that. So I'm curious if you ever done it. I know you've done the waterfowl hunting. You ever do any land bird hunting?
Upland game hunting.
Yeah.
A lot when we were younger. Yeah. So we rabbit hunting. I can remember going rabbit hunting before I even had my driver's license. Like my dad would drop me off over at a buddy's house, and we would just go all day around his farm, and then we would get on our four-wheelers and ride to another guy's farm and stuff. See, but we never really had much. We didn't ever quail hunt much because there was no coveys of quail really around here. It's big. It's making a huge comeback now. You know.
Well, there's been a lot of efforts by
QU and
Quail Unlimited.
QUGA and stuff like that. You know, like they're doing a huge, lots of huge projects trying to get the quail population to make.
I saw a couple Bob Whites out.
We got a
my
covey.
neck of the woods.
We got a covey at our house that's on the backside between us and Granny Dina's property. There's
I forget where I was mowing.
Covey there.
Didn't run over any rabbits this time, but I forget where I was mowing, and I saw. Oh, it was on the southwest corner of my property. I got like a couple of those trails mowed where all that's growing, and I saw 2 run out real quick, and I was like, "Oh shit, them are Bob Whites."
Yeah, so they do this real cool. If you can go out real early in the morning, and they'll do that covey up. It's like a covey up whistle. That's where they get their name, the Bob White. But there's some leased ground that we used to duck hunt on all the time. They was loaded with quail, and we would go down there in the morning, and you could hear them. It was really neat when they start coming up. But I don't know if you knew it or not, Dave. But national holiday on Thursday. This week, like in 3 days.
What's that?
Well,
Opening
national
of squirrel
holiday
season.
Yeah, opening day of squirrel season.
Now, I've been squirrel hunting.
That is the gateway to fall right there, August 15th.
You know what the shameful part of it is? I can remember when Squirrel Day, opening Squirrel Day, was like start of school, and they'll already have 2 weeks in.
Yeah. Yeah, so squirrel season in Indiana opens up here on Wednesday. I don't go usually because it's hard to hunt when the leaves are still on the trees. You got to be pretty good at it. And
I feel
it's
like I want to do more small game hunting this year.
Sure.
Just to go out and full shit and take the boys and it not be like a big.
Well, rabbit hunting is a lot of fun, and I think that's why I did it so much.
Back. The rabbits are back.
Well,
I haven't seen rabbits here for 5 years, I bet.
Right.
And then like out of nowhere.
Well, so whenever they the first introduction to bobcats and all that stuff, that's going
to be tough.
They took a real big beating. You know, the rabbits, the turkeys, the quail, like all of it. But then now that
I forgot we can hunt bobcats.
well, they're going to put a quota on it type thing. It's going to be really limited, but yeah, it's the first step. Like it's the stepping stone, you know, to get rid of them son bitches again. Not get rid of them, but just manage them.
Yeah, because they're running wild right now.
They're just crazy. Yeah, like they're big bastards. People don't think they're that big, but dude,
man, I've
seen a really good one
put a hurting on me, like just a regular and I'm allergic to cats now. Oh god dang, I bet my eyes would just jump out of me.
Oh yeah, probably so.
We never rabbit hunted with dogs.
Corey, so we had a couple of dogs.
Yeah, Corey had some pretty decent dogs.
So we had so my mom's, she's my aunt on my mom's side. On the Sissel side, her husband, he's since passed, but he had a national champion.
Oh yeah, field trout
out of his stables, and their house down in Lincoln's Kennel. Their house down there in Lincoln City, he had a pinned in area.
Yeah,
that he basically let these dogs train them and figure it out and do all that other stuff.
We took ours to a place up in DuBois. Well, I didn't. I took one of mine, and then Sean Begley, a friend of mine, he took 2 or 3 of his, and it's the same thing. Like it's probably like an acre of probably, I don't know,
fenced
5-6 foot tall fence, which a rabbit ain't gonna jump that high, but you know what I mean. But it's that tighter woven wire or even welded wire. And they just let brush grow up, and then they got some mow trails through it, and they literally just take these puppies and put them in there, and just let them start on their own.
And so he had like a tower where he could watch and he could see the movement. But Corey, I never went rabbit hunting. It just probably because at the time busy doing other things. But I love listening to dogs run. Like I will say that's something that probably a lot of people wouldn't know.
Yeah.
But like when you'd let those dogs out and let them run and listen to them howl and bark.
If you hunt with a houndsman that like if they've got I've hunted with really good dogs, and I've also hunted with like really bad dogs.
Yeah.
And when you get into now my personal preference, I mean it's a lot harder to do. but I love just going out brush busting. Like I don't
Just walking through and
yes,
seeing
like
them
just
scatter.
I had an old Mossberg 500 pump shotgun, 12 gauge, and me and 2 or 3 other buddies like Nobby and Craig Seib and all of us guys, Cord O'Brien, Obi, and I, when we used to rabbit hunt, Nathan Cam and a bunch of us, we just rabbit hunt. Like that's a lot of what we did all winter long.
Yeah.
And we never had no dogs. Nobby got a dog named Tucker there for a few years at the end, but like we just go out and literally just.
Does Jay Maxey still dealing dogs?
No,
not
but
your.
he had some really, really good
He
ones.
he always had a
Amazing
stable of good ones.
Yes.
Yeah.
So with that being said, though, like brush busting rabbits versus hunting with a group of dogs that like are really good, like Ed Meyer, local guy around here, Edward Meyer from St. Henry, younger guy my age.
He's got some.
He had some freaking dandies, and he had the dogs that would go down here to on 68 before you get to Interlake down there where the operating engineers big thing on the hill.
Yeah.
There was a field trial club that they would hold like regional field trial championships down there, and Ed had dogs that would compete and win in them deals. But I don't know, rabbit hunting's just fun because it's usually colder than shit. There ain't really else nothing to do, you know. And like you said, you walk around, you know, shoot some here, shoot some there, get your limit, don't get your limit, whatever, go home.
Because we used to like shooting clays a whole lot too back in Brazil.
Well, this is just like that, but
yeah.
it's on the ground.
And I did the trap league in Jasper
It's
with
expensive.
my brother, and it is expensive. But my brother-in-law and his buddies, I got on their team, and you don't have to go as a team. I could have gone anytime I wanted, but I wanted to go with them, you know, when they shot, and they kind of shot later in the night. So it wasn't unmanageable with the kids. It was just like
I think
come
the
home,
cool
wait a
thing-
few hours, and go back. But yeah, it seems cheaper to go shoot
I
rabbits.
think the cool thing too about rabbit hunting is it's you don't get told no a lot. Like if you're not a landowner, like if you're just going to go cold call and just go door knocking, find somebody on if you just drive around and see some real thicket, real nasty looking woolly piece of ground, go knock on their door and say, hey, we'd love to just see if we can kill some rabbits out there. Do you mind? And 9 times out of 10, they'll say, yeah, sure, go ahead. Because like if you're deer hunting, it's a hell of a lot more of an investment. You're going to be out there. You're going to do this, do that, in and out, in and out, in and out. Rabbit hunting, you could literally walk a piece of ground in a half an hour and then be gone. You know what I mean? And then you let that set for a week and then go back and try it again. You know,
We used to sit back there on the backside of 500 West because we had Lammer's field over there, and especially when he had corn and they had shelled and dove season.
oh yeah,
Sit on the bucket and just shoot at them.
So that's another big blast. I don't know if you've ever done much dove
I've
hunting.
never done any bird hunting.
Oh my God, Dave! God bless.
It's like
It is
shooting
so
skeet.
fun.
It's like shooting
It's
skeet
hard.
in real
Them
time.
some bitches are
They're
tough to hit
good,
now.
yeah.
Hey, I'll tell you somebody that's an absolute dead eye killing doves. So I said Cord O'Brien a while ago. His dad, Mikey.
Oh, Mike's a
Unbelievable. We used to hunt. So that the key for dove hunting is to find somebody that's chopping silage. Because when they chop silage, all they're going after the ear, of course, but they're going after the stalk and the leaves.
yeah.
Well, all that offal and that waste is on the ground. So them doves, and they're not dumb. If you could find a chopped silage field that's in relatively close to a gravel road, you're going to murder them. Because obviously they're just like any other bird. They're going to fly in. They're going to eat. They're going to fill their gullet with corn kernels, and then they're going to go over and eat rocks to fill their crawl to grind that corn. So if you can find that's got a power line close,
That's right over there in Duff. A bunch of that, isn't there?
exactly. So we hunted the piss out of Roushers.
Yeah,
We hunted all that
that's
stuff.
exactly what that would be.
Any big dairy farmer is usually going to be the ones chopping.
Well,
silage.
and then then the good thing of it is you just thumb it in and rip
yep,
the breast
that's
out.
literally it.
Make sure you don't have any
Hold-
pellets in there.
Hold the bird on its back, reach in there, and you can feel the bottom of the breastbone, and you literally just peel that sumbitch open like a tuna can.
Yep.
And then you just literally flip the skin off of it and throw it in a bucket, and that's it.
And then you wrap them in bacon
and
then
grill them and then eat
Oh, they're
them.
good.
God damn, they're good.
Yeah, we did. You talk about hunting. Last year was the first year getting back into it.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Since Janelle's
We'll
dad.
try to get one this year.
Well,
try to
Corey
get
still
one.
brings up, oh, you had to know it better. You could have shot and held it, and even halfway with the truck, you didn't take the shot.
I want to try bow hunting. I got a bow, and I haven't gone out yet.
I'll set you up, man. We got enough room out there now where you can
Well, we did.
come out to the house. We need. Here's what we need to do, guys. We need to be a little bit more proactive on this whole deer hunting thing.
Yeah.
Not wait till like 2 or 3 days before it comes in to really start thinking
Start
about
doing
it.
Yeah.
We should like start shooting bows and guns like now.
Yeah,
Well, that's
ready.
what
You know what I
Corey,
mean?
Corey tells he's like, hey, we got to clear some of that. We got to clear
Yep.
some of that, Brett. We got,
Exactly.
and I'm like, well, you find time with, your
Your
situation.
new baby and
Yeah.
everything. Hey.
And then I'll find time with my. But I will say I'm kind of excited because we sit so up there at the farm, the Janelle's family farm, which I guess is hers now, part of hers. Nobody really hunts that up there.
Cool. Well,
And so-
tell them you got a couple buddies and
Well, I've secured for sure as being married in,
that's
but
good, buddy. That's good.
so
And I tell
we'll
you
get
what,
out there
guys,
little
that's
bit.
a lot. That's a huge issue with which I know, Dave, you ran into that. I mean, I know that's what kind of brought your deer hunting to a screeching halt, but like being able to procure that ground and being able to secure a spot where you don't have to deal with trespassers, you don't have to deal with people stealing your shit, you don't have to deal with trying to go out and scout your
Yeah.
ass off and move here and move there and stuff, which I mean, patterning deer is fun. Like that's part of the chase, you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, but like there's just so many other variables in the areas that we hunt. And I mean, it's tough for a guy that if you're not a big landowner, it's tough because you got to rely on somebody else for permission and everything.
Well, and again, it goes back to some of these local farmers.
Yeah.
If you talk to them and say, hey,
Yeah.
I'd love to be able to hunt this corner this fall.
Yeah.
And a lot of them will probably, depending on who and if
Tell
they
you
hunt,
no in all reality around
Yeah.
here. But there's one or two guys that,
they don't mind.
yeah, if you're just, and they're just, I've worked deals before where, hey, here's what I want to do. I want to take my son. I want to sit on the ground. I want to try to kill a doe. If I do kill a doe, I would love to give you some meat and, just for the experience, and we'll do that. And yeah.
Well, and I
Got to
think,
have that kid for your wingman.
and it's kind of neat because I think Ryan asked about it, getting into, and it's like,
yeah.
just a little young.
Oh,
yet,
yeah.
But I never would have, because I'm still in my infancy of getting back into it. Where I would feel
Evelyn
confident.
loves it. My twin, my oldest, one of the twins, the daughter, she beats me up in the morning half the time.
Well,
she's ate up with
The
it.
shot we should have taken was when Corey and I were going out the driveway. There was one standing to her right.
Well, that and that. I told you that day there was a spike buck that come from by mailbox, walked up the road, up your driveway, and then to the left. And I said, "God damn, Max, go get the legend. Let's lay the hammer on this bastard."
yeah,
No, I've got some doe running through again. They've been gone a few years too, but I wouldn't think twice about letting an arrow loose there in the backyard.
An arrow, you say, right here in the yard.
Oh, Pocahontas.
An arrow, huh?
Well, I'm not going to shoot a gun with
Well,
houses in it.
Jesus Christ, I'd rather you shoot a gun than a goddamn arrow. Could you imagine one of them bastards ending up in a neighbor's landscaping up there with a f***ing rage broadhead sticking out of his
No,
back?
I'm not aiming to miss.
Oh, okay, Bob Lee Swagger.
Oh, shoot.
Hell yeah, man! I can't wait for deer hunting. And
Oh,
all that
yeah, we're
hunting
getting-
stuff.
hey.
we'll have to get us. We'll have to get on to a. We'll have to spend some time outdoors.
Yeah.
And we'll have to designate a couple of the Dutchmen outdoors and really get down to the
We'll
nuts
get
and bolts.
get
of it.
into
Or a
it.
hunter, rabbit hunter, something. I just want to
Yeah,
do some
for
shooting.
sure. Let's do
Yeah.
it.
Sounds good. Hey, you know what time it is? It's time for the Merkley and Sons Choice Cut Questions of the Week, brought to you by Merkley and Sons, the ultimate destination for meat
mutes.
yeah. It's a pretty quiet place over there on Saturdays. The
That's not
ultimate
true.
destination for meat enthusiasts.
You've heard us mention it before, but Merkley & Sons is the ultimate destination for meat enthusiasts. You want to know why? Well, it's simple, really. They have about damn near any meat product you could ever need. We talk about their burgers, franks, and snap dogs a lot, but the fellas carry only the best cuts of beef and pork for all your grilling and smoking needs. If there was a meat destination hall of fame, these guys are definitely in it. Head over and see them today and get what you need for your fridge or freezer.
All right, here we go, fellas. Got some rapid fire questions in regards to some choice cut questions in regards to advice and advice related questions.
Oh, good.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
It is eerily silent.
It's wild.
With the air conditioner off, and
It almost kind of, there's no fans.
something's
there's no
wrong in here. You know what I mean?
Neighbor Doug ain't over there in the corner snoring.
The best piece of advice. So I've got two of them. The first one is the one that I talked about with, Justine's grandpa and everything like that. He's said it before, and I was the advice for the graduate, for the kids, coming out of school. Save your money; you're going to need it. That was that one, and then I think the other one was. I'm not 100% sure who coined the phrase. And it's not really, it's very cliche and very stupid, but I've got some really, really good advice from really, really good people over the years. But I think just, YOLO, dog. You know what I mean? Like, that is so stupid to say, but it's so true.
Yeah.
Like, you only live once, and, you only get one shot at this. And yeah, I don't know. That's what I thought.
I'm sure this isn't the best piece I've ever got, but it's probably the one I use the most in my work type stuff, which applies everywhere, I guess. But if you don't have time to do it right, you sure as hell don't have time to do it twice.
That's good.
Pretty good.
That's really good.
I was thinking about this, and I would say that probably some of the best advice is if everything in your body and is telling you no, and you're not comfortable like with making a choice or a decision, kind of like a trust your gut.
Yeah.
It simmers down to that.
Right.
Trust your gut. And then I think early on in the practice of law, some of the best advice I got is that everybody that's wearing an orange jumpsuit or pays you to represent them is lying to you about one thing or another. And when you start looking at it like that, not saying that everybody did, but they ain't telling you the whole truth. And I think that's where I really developed the philosophy. I didn't develop it, but I really adopted the philosophy. There's one side, there's another side, and somewhere in the middle probably lies the truth. What's the worst advice someone has ever given you?
I don't know. You
don't have anything that comes to mind?
Nothing that really jumps out at
What
me.
about you?
Man, yeah, I don't know that I have. I can't bring to memory any bad advice.
I don't. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure it's happened probably while I was drinking. I mean, I'm sure there's all sorts of bad things happen when I was drinking.
Hey, have another beer. That's what that is.
Come on, you got time for one more.
Yeah, you got time for one more. Who's the first person you go to for advice?
Mine. I don't want to sound like a titty baby, but I do talk to my mom a lot. And then sometimes, my parents for sure. And then, like, if I need an equalizer, I'll usually call Jay Maxey. He's the one that's usually the straight shooter. I have actually consulted with him. Whenever that Great Dane bit Eleanor, and it was because she obviously provoked him, you know what I mean, and stuff like that. And I called my parents, and my mom was like, "Kill that son of a bitch, get rid of it."
Drag that son of a bitch down 1025.
Get rid of him. And then for the equalizer, I consulted with old Pop, and him, those two, my parents, and probably my father-in-law.
It depends on any advice on. I just go to the person that knows more than I do on whatever topic I'm needing advice on.
Yeah, I'd say
That's good. That's good. That's smart.
Yeah, I'd say Papa Frank. Life lessons have taught him a lot of things that he's able to speak upon. And I tell you what, more often than not, he's right. I'll admit it right there. My mom wasn't a big advice person. She would more talk you through the situation and see, just different in style. But I'd say my dad, and then, my mom when she was alive, obviously helped out a lot. How do you handle unsolicited advice?
I don't know what that means.
Like
Unwanted or unasked for.
bingo. Like you're doing something over there. Let's say you're at work and your buddy Cesar comes over and says, "Hey," and you can do his accent. I can't do it as well.
He's Jamaican, apparently.
Hey, we Jamaican, man. We the Jamaican bobsled team.
It happens. It happens to us all the time. With like, especially now more so than ever because we've got a couple of new guys on the crew, and it's like we do a really good job to try to tell them the way that things should be done, or how that like the maybe the street department way, you know what I mean? And sometimes that unsolicited advice like that can come off dickish. So I think as far as like me accepting unsolicited advice, I think tone has a lot to do with it, whether I'm going to accept it or not, if that makes any sense. Dave?
It depends if it's good advice or not, normally.
I'm kind of in that same boat.
Yeah.
Like if somebody that I don't trust their opinion trying to give me advice, one ear out the other.
Right.
If it's somebody obviously that I respect and think, they do have some insight on the situation, and go from there. Final question: what's a piece of advice you'd give your younger self?
Stay in school, you dipshit. Ditch diggers don't live forever.
I don't know. I don't know that I'd do any of it different. I wouldn't be here.
Right.
Alter the.
Of course.
You wouldn't tell Young Smoke to relax a little bit? You've
I wouldn't
mellowed.
be here.
Yeah, but you've mellowed some.
Oh, sure.
But you don't think that
Some.
But I wouldn't be in the spot I am today if I mellowed earlier. It took all the downs with the ups to get to where I am.
I guess that's true. I think I would tell my younger self and I guess I lived that advice, but just because you set out on something that you think you're dead set on doing, don't be so obstinate to a door that may open. Chase that opportunity if it feels right. Not necessarily chase. Chase is the wrong word, but
Don't just settle.
yeah, don't settle on it. Don't be afraid to step outside and do something a little bit different if you need to. So anyways, hey, it's time. We've already talked long enough, and your Wednesday just stretched into Thursday maybe, but if you're listening to us Wednesday morning, we obviously appreciate it. It's one more trip around the table brought to you by Hayes Heating, Air, and Repair, and our buddy Todd Hayes right there on 1st Street in Huntingburg. You can't miss the shop. You got something going on, or you need to do some fixing or some preventative maintenance, Dave. Preventative maintenance is a big thing. Call our buddy Todd Hayes.
Hayes Heating, Air, and Repair of Huntingburg with our buddy Todd Hayes is a proud sponsor of the Wondering Dutchmen, and we are glad to have him on board. As we get to the end of the heat and you still have AC issues, give Todd a call. Winter is right around the corner. When was the last time your furnace was inspected for the winter? If you don't know the answer to that, then you probably should give Todd a call. If you're looking for someone for your home remodel or new construction HVAC needs, we've got the guy. Give Todd a call today at 812-683-2570 and tell them the Dutchman sent you.
All right, big fella, we got.
So we are recording this show on Monday, August the 12th. Tomorrow would be Tuesday, August the 13th. And that is the day that they're going to lay sweet Amanda Clem to rest. That's going to be very brutal on her family, her immediate friends, the whole Reindeer Ranch community, all her past coworkers in the Spencer County Sheriff's Department, all her military buddies, just everybody. It was a absolute tragic loss. Such an impactful young person, and tragic is what the word comes to when I think of it. Makes me sick to think of it that way, but I just want to take a moment of silence. Really, I don't know really what to say other than just take a moment and think about your loved ones, and you never know when it's your time. And like I said earlier, it was like YOLO, dog. You know what I mean? Like you never know. So keep that family in your thoughts and prayers, because they're going to need them. Yeah, that's all I got.
Smoke Dragon?
Yeah, keep your stick on the ice. I don't know.
Amen, brother.
Big thank you to Southern Indiana Hardwoods and our buddy Nick Merkley. Celebration Ice, obviously, our good friends there. Overboard with Alan and Derek coming up here September 13th, 8 to midnight at Holland Fest. I think it's going to be a banger of a show. I think we got some good steam headed that way. Of course, Bradley and John Boy with Merkley and Sons, we appreciate their support. And Todd Hayes with Hayes Heating, Air, and Repair. I didn't mention it at the top, but should have. A big congratulations to my younger brother on the birth of their new bundle of joy. And it's kind of crazy that, you mentioned your thing, Big Mace, and when one life ends, another one begins sometimes.
That's right.
And
right.
Not saying they're connected,
No.
obviously, but life is a funny thing like that.
Yeah.
So Tanner Lawrence.
That's a good name.
Well, we'll see how it goes.
T-Dog.
Old T-Dog. There we go. Anyways, hey, for a Monday night, eerily quiet here in the lounge, don't forget about our backyard barbecue competition.
That's right.
You'll see some of these flyers around here. Dave will do some great magic editing work where he'll zoom into it where you can see his nose hair. But scan that QR code for more information. But we're going to have a good time down there.
It's going to be fun.
It's going to be a blast.
That's right.
And it'll only be more fun if you're there. Right, Dave?
Hell yeah.
Dave's going to be there.
Hell yeah, he is.
Big fella's going to be there.
That's right.
I'm going to be there. Hopefully we tell our wives not to be there so we can have more fun. And with that, we'll see you next time. Dutchman out.